it's rolling. Hi everybody, and welcome back to our weekly live stream. My name is Alicia, and today we are going to talk about how to make guesses and predictions. I'm going to cover some basic grammar in today's lesson, including will and going to, and then I'm also going to talk about some vocabulary words, some more intermediate to advanced level vocabulary words, specifically verbs you can use to talk about the future. So we will begin today's lesson in just a couple minutes. We'll give everybody some time to join, and then we'll get rolling. So I think that YouTube is now up. Hi everybody who is watching us over on YouTube. I see Cho and Mr. Easy, Laura, hello, Avi, Mani, hello, Edson. Hi everybody over there. Welcome on YouTube. Facebook, I'm coming for you too. While we wait for people to join, a couple announcements as always. I'll take away our lesson title here. First, this banner at the bottom shows free PDF lessons. This week, I haven't shared this in a while, so in case you have not seen it, if you check the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook, there are a whole bunch of free PDFs that you can download for vocabulary practice. So this one's about pets. Talk to your pets, that's funny. I know it says that, but on the back there's a list of like common pet names, for example. That's what this one is. So depending on your like vocabulary goals or your vocabulary gaps, you can choose one of these. I'll see. That's another good one. Yeah. This one is a very popular one, the business English one. So check the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, and above the video if you're watching on Facebook to get these. There's a lot. You can download all of them for free. You just need an account on our website at EnglishClass101.com. Okay, so that's announcement number one. Announcement number two is, as always, if you have questions, please send them to me for this series, the weekly Q&A series called Ask Alicia. If you have questions about small points like vocabulary, grammar, if you have a culture question, whatever, you can send it to me and I will try maybe to answer your question in our weekly Q&A series. So this is at EnglishClass101.com/ask-Alicia. You can find this on the English Class 101 YouTube channel as well. Okay, Facebook, I'm coming to find you. Hello, there's Facebook. There's the Facebook stream. Hi, Facebook watchers. Hi, Omid and Duban and Bik. Hello, Bik Sales. Hello, Gise. Hi, everybody. Thanks very much for joining us. I will take that away. Okay, so as I said, now everybody's here. Everything is good. I am going to show you today's lesson flow. Today's lesson flow is this. This is our flow for today. First, I'm going to talk about how to use will and won't. So we will review some basic grammar today. I'll talk about pronunciation. Then we're going to talk about how to use going to. And again, we'll cover some pronunciation a little bit here. Finally, today I'm going to talk about some key vocabulary words you can use to make guesses and predictions. So again, today's topic is guesses, like how to talk about the future, how to make a guess about the future. So when I talk about will and going to, yes, you can talk about using will and going to for your upcoming plans. But for today's lesson, we're going to focus on making guesses, Also, just to start today's lesson, what is the difference between a guess and a prediction? A guess is an opinion that we make without any real information. We just come up with an idea. We come up with an opinion. We didn't research maybe, but we just want to throw an opinion out. A prediction is usually a bit larger. We use information to make our opinion. We use data or research to make a prediction. So we will talk more about this later. But let's get into today's lesson. Also, if you have not, now everybody is here. If you have not, please make sure to like and share this lesson so other learners can find it online. Okay, let's begin. Am I sure I am live? Yes, I'm sure. Okay, I'm seeing your message. Okay, let's get into today's lesson then. Let's begin with how to use will and won't, again, to make guesses and predictions. I'm not going to cover this for like future plans today. So, first, a review, a quick, very, very quick review. To make a statement with will or won't, we just use subject plus will or subject plus won't. Today I'm going to use won't. Remember, won't means will not. Will not. It's the reduced form. Subject will or subject won't. Infinitive verb. So infinitive verb means the basic verb form, the kind that you see in the dictionary. For example, the weather will be hot tomorrow. At native speed, this sounds like the weather will be hot tomorrow. The weather will be hot tomorrow. So my subject is the weather. We commonly say it when we are talking about the weather too. The weather will, here's my will, and my infinitive verb be. The weather will be hot tomorrow. So use a be pattern to describe a condition like this, will be hot. So sometimes I hear people forget this be. The weather will be hot tomorrow. Okay, another example, a negative. He won't get to the meeting on time. He won't get. So get means arrive. This is a casual way to say arrive. He won't get to the meeting on time. So again, this is a guess. Subject he here, won't, so will not, and get, infinitive verb. He won't get to the meeting on time. So I'm making a guess about someone else with this expression. He won't get to the meeting on time. Okay, so quick review. These, as I'll cover a little bit later, we use will when we make guesses and predictions, generally for guesses we make in the conversation. So it's like a quick guess about a kind of small situation, an everyday situation. Maybe we don't have a lot of information, or it's just a little bit of information, like here, the weather will be hot tomorrow. So it's like we heard quickly on the news. So it's like a small everyday life kind of thing. Here, this point is one that I hope many of you can use. I'm going to talk about probably. Probably. I'm going to talk about this with will and with going to later. To give more, to increase the level of emphasis of your prediction, you can use probably with will and probably with won't. So, an important point with probably, with will and won't, is to note the position. So when I say note the position, I mean be careful of the place in the sentence where you use probably. So let's compare. Let's look at two examples with probably. First one, we'll probably arrive late. We'll probably arrive late. Here I have reduced we, subject, will to we'll. This is very common. Try to reduce. We'll probably arrive late. So probably comes after this. We will, yeah? In the positive form. However, look at this sentence. She probably won't, or won't in this sentence. So we don't say she won't probably come to work. We don't say that. Probably comes before. And at native speed, probably is pronounced probably, kind of. So to say these sentences at my regular pace, my normal pace, we'll probably arrive late. She probably won't come to work. She probably won't come to work. So this probably is really hard to say in fast speech. It sounds like probably, and you might hear some people say probably as well. I guess I say probably the most. So don't worry, like this, it's hard to say this probably. It's hard to say it very, very quickly and naturally. So it's very common to hear probably for this. So again, we use this for emphasis. This is correct. We will arrive late is correct. And she won't come to work is correct. But When we use probably, we introduce, we give the sentence a little more nuance. There's more nuance there. So that means there's a good chance she will arrive late, and there's a good chance she won't come to work. So use probably to do this. Okay, if you have questions, please send them in the chat. Also, for those of you who want to get started, here's your comment question for this sentence, or for this section. What do you think you'll do this weekend? I'll probably. So please practice. Okay, so I want to finish this part with another pronunciation point. I mentioned we use we use will and won't for in the moment guesses. Yeah. So I think, let's see, I've talked about using will and going to for future plans in other lessons before, and I've covered this pronunciation point before. This is true for making guesses and predictions and for your future plans. So keep this pronunciation point in mind for all of your uses of will. I'll probably go. This is my example here. One very common pronunciation mistake I hear from learners, and I hope that you can remember this one today, is this part. When you reduce I will to I'll, or she will to she'll, and so on, you forget this ul sound. I hear many learners say, I probably go. I know this is, I think, because many native speakers, when we speak quickly, this ul sound is hard to catch, yeah? But we still say it. So when I say this sentence, it's, I'll probably go. I'll probably go. So the sound of the I'll probably go, is really, really easy to hear, yeah? Don't forget this, I'll. So I'll probably go. I'll probably go. Okay. So this is part one. So send a comment to practice this. What do you think? I've made a question with this. What do you think you'll do this weekend? What do you think you'll do this weekend? I'll probably blah, blah, blah. So what do I think I'll do this weekend? I'll probably read this book I've been inhaling. I've been reading a lot recently. So I'll probably read a book. I'll probably read a book and clean my house. Very exciting, very exciting. Some of your examples are coming in. Sumit says, I will probably waste my time this weekend. Oh no. Jermaine says, I probably won't show up to the baby shower on time. That's very specific. Okay. Kanwaljit, hey, says, you'll probably lost her. Be careful. When you use this form, infinitive verb. So you don't need to use past participle. You don't need to use something else. Basic verb form to do this. Fabrian says, I will pass my English exam with flying colors. Fantastic, fantastic. Annie says, I'll probably ride my bike, read some books, and play cards. Excellent. Someone says, I'll probably buy a phone. I'll probably stay home. Good job. Nice ones. Silva says, I'll probably watch this lesson again. Awesome. Great job, YouTube. On Facebook, I'm coming for you, Facebook. I'll probably go shopping. I'll probably go shopping for groceries this weekend, says Jomari. Nice. I'll probably go shopping. Faith says, I'll probably join an online class. Oh, very nice. That sounds good. Dimas talking about next year. I'll probably travel to Italy next year. Ooh, sounds good. Sounds good. Excellent. Very nice examples with probably. Good job. Very, very nice. Excellent. Haha, that's great. I am so happy to see all of your awesome examples. Okay, you guys rocked part one. So let's take a break and then we'll go to part two, which I'm sure you will also rock. So I'll take a quick break now. If you missed it this week, as I showed before, there is a link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, the description, not the chat box, and on Facebook if you are watching, again, not the chat box, above the chat box or above this video, you can get, I haven't shown these in a while, so the team is sharing them again. These are PDFs that you can download to practice your vocabulary. This is a good one for now. Leisure time. Leisure time means your free time. The free time that you have to do like hobbies, sports, and things like that. So you can download these And find some vocabulary words and phrases, other expressions to use. This one's about movie genres. Ooh. So you can choose your favorite topics, or if you know there's something you want to practice or refresh in your mind, you can do that too. Like some people like to download these and put them on like the wall or put them on the refrigerator or something like that to practice every day. So check this out. This one is, oh, many of you said shopping. So here are some verbs for shopping on the back. Ooh, nice one, yeah? Okay, so check that out. Again, you need an account at EnglishClass101.com, but it is free. So if you want it, go get it. There's like 20, there's a lot. So check it out. Enjoy that. Okay. With that, let's continue along to part 2 for today's lesson. If you are just joining us live, today's topic, I will show you again. Today's topic is how to make guesses and predictions. Guesses and predictions. So we are covering how to use will and going to today, of course. And we are also talking about some vocabulary. We're also going to talk about some vocabulary. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you today's lesson boards again. This is our lesson flow. I just talked about using will and won't. Now I'm going to talk about using going to make guesses and predictions. So this one, I think, again, lots of review for many of you, but we'll focus on how to use this to make a guess. And we'll talk about the distant future. Okay, so let's go to part number 2. Part number 2 for today. Also, if you have not, please make sure to like this video, thumbs up it, and share the video so other people can find today's lesson. Alrighty then, let's go to part 2. Part 2. Okay, going to. So again, in this part, I'm going to focus on using going to make guesses and predictions. So I'm not going to talk about going to for future plans. We're making guesses with this grammar today. Alrighty, so let's review very quickly. How do we make a statement with going to? We use our subject plus am or is or are. We need our be verb here, yeah? So like I am or he is or we are. We need our be verb. And then we have our going to or not going to, and infinitive verb. When we use going to, we usually in speech reduce. We reduce it, we make it short. We make it gonna, or negative, not gonna. Don't use, when you write, don't spell this in like polite or professional, like emails, that kind of thing. This is a casual word. In text messages with your friends, cool. With your family, cool. That's fine. But this word is generally, it's kind of a casual word. So let's practice, just to review, a couple of predictions, a couple guesses with this. First one. It's gonna be hot tomorrow. It's gonna be hot tomorrow. So it is the weather, right? It is going to be hot tomorrow. It's gonna be hot tomorrow. And a negative. We're not going to get to the airport on time. So here we are not going to get to the airport on time. So this is a guess or a prediction. So at native speed, these sound like it's going to be hot tomorrow, and we're not going to get to the airport on time. We're not going to get to the airport on time. So what is happening here? Why did I use going to for these? Why didn't I use will? Didn't you use a weather example, Alicia, in the first part? Yes, I did. So the first example sentence in both of these is about weather, yeah? It's gonna be hot tomorrow, and the weather will be hot tomorrow. Both of these are correct. What's the difference? Largely, there's not really a difference, but a good guide to follow is that going to tends to sound like you're more sure about something. Just like when you talk about your future plans with will and going to, it sounds like you have some information or you have more confidence about your guess. So this, it's going to be hot tomorrow, sounds like there's more confidence in that guess than will. So will sounds a little bit lower than going to. It's going to be hot tomorrow. I sound very sure of that idea. So that's the difference. Again, with going to, we can use probably for emphasis. With this one, with this use of probably, we don't have to worry about the position of probably. It's just before going to or not going to. So you don't need to worry about the position of probably in negatives and positives. Some examples. He's probably going to arrive soon. He's probably going to arrive soon. And we're probably not going to have enough money. So in native speed, this sounds like he's probably going to arrive soon. And we're probably not going to have enough money. So you can hear those sounds get reduced. Once more, he's probably going to arrive soon. And we're probably not going to have enough money. So probably, again, sounds like probably. And this not going to have becomes like not going to have. Not going to have. He's probably going to arrive soon, and we're probably not going to have. So again, we use probably to put more nuance in the sentence. So he's going to arrive soon is correct. It's a strong prediction. He's going to arrive soon. And we're not going to have enough money. That's very sure. But using probably means high chance of that. There's a high chance of this. So as I said, use going to and not going to for like strong in the moment guesses. When I say strong, I mean confident. You feel very strongly. You have a good level of confidence about your guess. Okay, let's go to, I don't see other questions yet. So let's go to this point. I want to talk about distant future predictions quickly. Distant future predictions. This means things far, far, far in the future. So maybe next year, or in 100 years, or in 1,000 years. If we want to imagine the distant future, how do we do that? Should we use will? Should we use going to? Both. So we use both going to and will when we talk about the distant future. Here's a quick guide. A very quick guide. This is not a rule, but just to help you choose. Going to is commonly used with like data information-based predictions. Again, because we have like a higher level of confidence with going to. So for example, many countries are going to experience weather changes in the future. Many countries are going to experience weather changes in the future. So this is like there's science, there's data, there's information. I use going to. Will, on the other hand, is like a basic guess. Or it's like we have an interesting idea and we just want to share it. So there's not really like science or research or anything sometimes. Like this one, we'll have flying cars. So it's like, what is the science? Is there science? Is there data? That's a good example of a will prediction about the distant future. So again, this is just a guide. It's not a rule. But generally, as with basic uses of will and going to express future plans, it's good to use going to for those predictions you are confident about because you have information. And will for just kind of the quick, in-the-moment ideas. Again, not a rule, but a good guide. Okay. Wow. That was quick. So, I don't see any questions. So I'll continue. We have to go because I have a lot of vocabulary I want to finish with today. So if you have questions or an example sentence, please send it in the chat. I will try to check it. Very, very quickly, I will remind you if you have not heard this week in the link below the video on YouTube and above the video on Facebook, there is a link to, I'll show you this one, Romance and Love, PDFs for vocabulary building. This is the Romance and Love one, but actually on the back, it's compliments. It's examples of compliments that you can give people, like genuine, nice compliments, and some other pointers. So check these out. You can download all of them. So have a look at that. What's another good one here? Ooh, a supermarket one. Yes, where many of us are spending lots of our time these days, perhaps, or more time. So check these out. You can take a look at those below the video or above the video, depending on where you are watching. Maria says, could you talk about probably with going to? Yes, I did really quickly talk about probably with going to. So we use it the same as with will and with won't. And the position, we don't have to worry about it. It just goes in front of going to. So we use it for emphasis to mean a good chance of something. For those of you asking about part 2, again, this video is being recorded. You can check it after the lesson finishes. Alrighty, let's go to part 3 because time is running out. Someone is flooding the chat on YouTube. Could you please give everyone a chance to write? I don't know what lemma is. Okay, let's go to part 3. Oh, I forgot to show you. If you missed it, if you wanted to take a picture, if you're confused, what are we doing? This is today's lesson flow. I talked about this in part 1. This was part 2. So will, going to. Finally, we're going to talk about some vocabulary words. Some vocabulary words over here. So I want to finish with this list. So for our maybe intermediate to advanced learners, I wanted to include some additional vocabulary you can use because many of these words are being used in the news today. So I wanted you to be able to understand them. So first, I want to point out all of these are verbs. I've included them as verbs. However, there are noun forms of these words too, yes. I'm going to cover just the verb uses today. And then you can use your brain to use the noun forms as well. First, I want to talk about these two. In today's lesson, I kept saying guess, predict, to make guesses, to make predictions. So in case you missed it earlier, what is the difference between a guess and a prediction, or in the verb form, to guess or to predict? To guess means to form an opinion without much information. To form an opinion without much information. So you don't know really, but you need to share an idea. You need to share an opinion. Like you don't have any information, but you give your opinion. That's a guess. A guess. So I've used it as a noun just there. To guess as a verb. On the other hand, to predict means to form an opinion about the future or about something using information. So you have some information. You have like data, you can do research, there's science, you have past experience. So you use that information to make an opinion about the future, to give an idea about the future. That's called, as a noun, a prediction. A prediction. As a verb, to predict. To predict. So this is the difference. No information. Information. That's the key difference with guess and predict. To guess and predict. Okay. So let's continue on to these. I have 4 more words and a little time to explain them. These are a little, especially these 3, will take a little more time to explain. But I want to include them because they're very common and very useful. First, to bet. To bet. This is a very common expression in American English. You might hear this in TV and in movies a lot, like you bet or I bet. What does that mean? First, let's just look at to bet. What does it mean to bet? To bet means to make a guess about an outcome with another person. The loser pays the winner money. So basically, imagine sports. Like you're watching soccer, football, and you think Team A will win. Your friend thinks Team B will win. You say, I bet $10 Team A will win. And your friend says, no, Team B will win. Okay, I bet you Team B will win. That means we're playing a game now. If Team A wins, my friend gives me $10. If Team B wins, I give my friend $10. This kind of game, usually with money, is called, as a noun, a bet. A bet. So, but to bet is how we use it as a verb, to bet. So we use this when we make predictions. As a verb, we say, I bet Team A is going to win, or I bet Team B is going to win. So we use bet instead of think because it kind of communicates a little feeling of competition. So it's kind of makes it feel like a game. So we might use bet when we're talking with our friends or with people we're close to, and we want to create a kind of like game or competition feel, to bet. So this is very common among like characters on TV shows. So they'll say, I bet this, or I bet that. And it's very common to hear after this, after they agree, or when they agree, they'll sometimes say, you're on, which means, okay, like, yeah, let's play this game, sure. So, to bet, that's what to bet means. Okie dokie. Uh-oh. Okay, let's go to, Maria on Facebook says, I bet I'll going to win. A point about bet. We tend to use bet with going to, mostly. So bet and going to are kind of a pair. We don't really use bet with will so much. Because the reason for this, I mean, you can sometimes. I bet I'll blah, blah, blah. But the reason that we tend to use bet with going to is because bet has a, like, we feel pretty confident. We feel fairly confident in the guess. So going to is a nice match for that. We use going to with our confident predictions. Okay, Yogi says, I bet you are an American. I bet you're American. I bet you are American. Yeah, I bet you're American is correct. It's like I have a high level of confidence. But if that's the reason that something like that is maybe a little unnatural is because that sounds like a conversation you have with someone like when you meet for the first time, like you're guessing someone's country. It sounds a little too close. So this is a word you use with somebody that you probably already have a close relationship with. Okay. So that was a lot about bet. If you missed it, this is being recorded. Let's go to these two. These are going to take some time. I'll try to go quick, remote team. To speculate and to anticipate. To speculate, first, to speculate means to imagine an outcome from very little information or in a difficult situation. To speculate, to speculate, to speculate. So we see a lot of speculation as a noun in the news, like for example with the situation right now. So with the virus, so it's like we don't know what's going to happen. We have some information. Every country has some information, but it's hard to understand what is going to happen in the future. So when we have like a little bit of information and we imagine different outcomes, we imagine different results, we describe that process with speculate, to speculate. For example, the president speculated about the following year. So that means the president imagined some outcomes about the following year. But it's like speculate is just imagining something, but that doesn't mean it's going to be true. So this is a very common word in the news. Again, the noun form is speculation, speculation. Okay? To anticipate then. To anticipate, also common in the news, the noun form is anticipation, anticipation. To anticipate means to expect something to happen based on past information. So you have some like data, you have some information, maybe you know a pattern, and then you expect something is going to happen. We describe that with the verb anticipate. Anticipate. So we anticipate an increase in sales next year. So we have some data and we expect this thing is going to happen. So this can be for positive or for negative things. We use anticipate for both. The last one I wanted to mention here is to forecast. To forecast. Maybe lots of you know the expression weather forecast. So to forecast, we can use this as a verb too. To forecast means to expect an outcome based on data. So whether, or we have like finance forecasts too. So the difference between forecast and anticipate. Actually, let me start with forecast. Forecast is for something that's really like data-based. So my examples here are weather and finance, yeah? So we have like scientific data that we use to share information like about the recent future. Or with finance, it's maybe like the next 3 months or something like that. With anticipate, we kind of use it, again, like we can use it to talk about like research and data sometimes, but we also use anticipate to talk about emotions. Like we might say, we anticipate this will be a difficult process. So it's a little bit more emotional. And anticipate can be more about expecting an emotional condition. Forecast tends to be used for things that are data-based. Okay, so this is a list of some key vocabulary words you can use for guesses and predictions. Again, this is verbs. This is a list of verbs, but you can use these as nouns. They're very common as nouns as well. So I hope that this is helpful. These words appear a lot in the news, especially these days. So this is a good study list maybe for now. Okay, I have to finish for this week. Oh my gosh, I only have 2 minutes left. Yikes. So let's finish. What do I need to do? I need to show you the lesson board so you can take a picture of today's lesson, don't I? All right, here we go. But this is today's topics. This is everything we talked about in today's lesson, so you can take a picture if you like. We covered how to make guesses and predictions in a few different ways. So I have to finish today's lesson, so I will show you next lesson. Now, next lesson will be July 22nd. Phew, this year is going so quick. I'm going to talk about how to study English alone. So for those of you who are not studying with your teacher at this time or ever, I will give you some tips to study on your own at home. I hope that that will be helpful for you. So please join me next week, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Wednesday. That is New York City time, or Google your local time. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so I will say goodbye there. I guess I'll leave you with this. Don't forget to download your free stuff from the link below the video, of course. And thanks very much for liking and sharing this lesson. That was super awesome. And thanks for your awesome questions and comments. I have to go. So be well, enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend, and I will see you again next time.